Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Person here, and today we are continuing our series taking a look at the most broken minions in Hearthstone history, where we've coded through every single major mana cost 1 through 10, and well 10 plus, and then coming together in a final episode where we'll do like a community poll, put everything together and determine what the most broken Hearthstone minion of all time is. And we've already gone through 1 through 5. Today we're going to take a look at the most broken 6 drops ever. Before we do that, just a friendly reminder, we're only a couple hundred subs away from 35,000. If you feel I've earned your subscription, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button. It would mean a lot to me if we get that milestone, and well, thank you. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at what the most broken 6 drop of all time is. So starting off at number 10, we're gonna go with an old but goodie from like the, I believe, Ungoro, Sunkeeper Tarim. It's a legendary Paladin minion, 6 mana, 3/7 taunt minion. Battlecry sets all of their minions attack and health to 3, and this card was a powerhouse for a very long time in Standard as well as Wild. You could discover it quite reliably when there was the class discover bonus off Stonehill Defender back in the day, but even like in Even Paladin, this card was phenomenal. It just, you know, you like going wide as a Paladin. You like having a wide board, transforming everything. You often just buff your board, get some trades in, and just do some ridiculously powerful stuff. Incredibly good card. It's fallen off in recent times, but its power level cannot be understated. For me, it's got to belong on the list. By the way, these cards are 6 costs, so most of them don't see play anymore. Just a quick disclaimer, Hearthstone's in a rough spot. Anyways, at number 10, we have a 6 cost card that, well, rarely ever costs 6, and that's Thing from Below, the 6 mana 5/5 taunt minion for Shaman, and it costs 1 less for every totem summoned this game. And well, we all know it's an even cost card, so it works really well in even Shaman. But even before that, it was just in like, you know, mid-range Shaman, totem Shamans. It's eventually a 0 mana 5/5 taunt. That's incredibly powerful. Can't be understated. It's nothing that sexy. It's nothing that I'm, you know, something that's gonna get you really excited, but my goodness, when you started like slamming down like 2 Think from Belows in 1 turn, just completely swing the game, can be incredibly powerful, and still kind of sees play in Wild if you ever decided to play even Shaman anymore, but still, very solid card. And turns out when 6 cost cards cost 0, they're pretty good. Hey, look at number 8. We got Cabal Crystal Runner, the Mage Minion. It's a 6 mana 5/5 as well. And I believe it costs 2 less for each secret you have cast this turn. So it doesn't work with like a Mad Scientist. It doesn't work with like cheating out a secret from your deck. You have to cast and play it yourself. But however, when you have cards like Cabal Lackey and you have cards like Kirin Tor Mage, this card comes down quickly and it's 0 mana, and you start just doming your opponent with a 5/5. And again, very powerful, doesn't have taunt, but this card has been just a super player in Wild since forever. It was a player in Standard, and even in this meta of pure craziness, Secret Mage is still playable, and Cabal Crystal Runner is a big part of it. 0 mana 5/5s are definitely very powerful and definitely warranted on the list. And number 7, I believe, is the most recent addition to the list, and that is Lady Anacondra, the Druid legendary minion, I believe introduced in the last mini set in the Wailing Caverns. 6 mana 3/7, and your nature spells cost 2 less, which on paper doesn't look amazing, but you know, it's a good amount of mana cheap. But when you play Celestial Alignment and all your nature spells cost 1, they go down to 0 when Anacondra's on the board, and well, insanity can ensue. Or you can do the other thing where you cast Germination on it, or Solar Eclipse Germination, and get a bunch of Anacondras, and then all your spells cost 0. Incredibly powerful. It turns out cheating mana is really good, and the last few cards have really demonstrated that. And Lady Anacondra has been an absolute player in both Standard and Wild, and she will only get better as more nature cards are made. And well, there might be a chance that one day she'll get changed, but as it stands right now, just a very, very powerful, very ridiculous Druid legendary that is quite fun to play, and I'm very happy to have her golden. At number 6, we have another mage minion. There's actually quite a few mage minions on this list. We have Reno the Relicologist, 6 mana 4/6 Highlander card. If your deck contains new duplicates, deal 10 damage randomly amongst enemy minions. This basically clears the board on turn 6, which back in the day, that'd be an incredible thing. And you like couple it with like Bran and Luna's Pocket Galaxy, you could do 20 damage. It's it won the game so many times on the spot, where if you just get that tempo, you play Reno and then you follow it up with like Anacondra's Calling or just Luna's Pocket Galaxy for 7, that can just be absolutely game winning. It's been an absolute juggernaut in Highlander Mage since it's been introduced, and it will continue to be in the future as long as those archetypes are playable. I'm getting sad talking about all this stuff, but hopefully we could get some normalcy back to Hearthstone. But yeah, Reno the Relicologist, incredibly good card, and his animation sweet. The whole like the gun and the whole spiraling thing is just beautiful and a really, really sweet card. At number 5, we have another mage minion. I think it's the last on the list though, specifically mage, but Sage, Seer of Darkmoon. This card, let's just put it this way, it power crypt Alaneth out of the game. Alaneth, the legendary mage weapon, which was ridiculous, which people hated for a long time. It doesn't see play in Secret Mage because of cards like Sage, also because of Rig Fair Game. But Sage, 6 mana 5/5, you draw a card or you draw an additional one on top of that for every secret that has been basically revealed this game. It's just card draw on a 6 mana 5/5, and it's not delayed, it's a battle cry unlike Alaneth. So if you draw the aforementioned Cabal Crystal Runner, you could play it or other cards. And yeah, the fact that this card alone took Alaneth out of Secret Mage is mind-boggling, and it saw playing standard, it sees playing standard, saw playing wild. It's just a really, really insane card. I gotta put it above Reno. I know Reno's maybe a bit more impactful, but Sage has just been more dominant in the deck it's been in, and it's just, yeah, ridiculously good card, and it cut Alan. How the hell did that happen? At number 4, this card's none of your business, but yeah, a lot of people will be surprised it's not higher, but for me, it's not. It's number 4, and that's Mysterious Challenger. 6 mana 6/6 Paladin epic, and you basically just get a bunch of free secrets out of your deck, and you would win the game. Back in TGT, this card back in the Grand Tournament was just ridiculous. Secret Paladin was a tier 1 deck. It was dominant. They ended up making cards like Eater of Secrets to try and help counter it a little bit, but power creep in the end has kind of bit Mysterious Challenger in the butt. You don't really see this card, haven't really seen this card in like a tier 1, a tier 2, or even really a tier 3 deck in Wild in years. The card just isn't what it used to be, but it was really, really dominant for a very long time, and it gives a lot of people PTSD. They still remember this card from back in the day, and if they haven't played Wild, they just assume it's insane now, but it really hasn't been for quite some time. But due to its historical impact, due to the fact that it is still a good card, it's not bad by any means, it's just there's just better stuff to do these days. I gotta put it as number 4. Really insane card, and definitely one of the, probably the most iconic on the list, except for, well, maybe number 1. We'll talk about that in a bit. At number 3, we have a card that was Hall of Famed a year early with its kind of spiritual partner, Baku. We have Gen Greymane, 6 mana 6/5. If your deck contains only even cost cards, your hero power costs 1. Not quite as powerful as Baku. You know, the odd decks were a lot more impactful, the upgraded hero power, but having a 1 mana hero power saw some pretty good play, especially in like even Shaman and even Warlock in particular, were very powerful decks. Still see play in Wild. Actually, even Warlock has been on a bit of a comeback because it's gotten so much insane stuff lately. And yeah, again, just was an incredibly good card, but not as game breaking. Like it kind of went with Gen and Baku. Like it got like, let's just say they made only Gen and not Baku. I don't know if Gen gets Hall of Fame a year early, but because they were both brought in, they had that similar type of feel. It kind of got lumped in together. And yeah, Gen still sees play in Wild today, but it's not at a dominant level. It's just at a very good level. And I'm putting it number 3. This card's still ridiculous, but there's 2 cards that I feel are definitely higher on the list. And at number 2, we have Kale Sunstrider. This card was nerfed twice, but its original version, very first version, 6 mana 4/7. Every third spell you cast costs 0. And this card literally led to turn 1 OTKs once Lightning Bloom was put into the game. And well, they nerfed it to 7 mana, and then they eventually nerfed it to 7 mana, and your third spell costs 1. Each iteration of this card saw play. Each of them, even the one that cost 1, still saw play, but your third spell costing 0 on a 6-drop was just game-breaking in Standard and Wild. It was just ridiculous the things you could pull off with it, and it was a free legendary, so it got nerfed twice and we got no dust out of it. Those greedy Blizzard, but overall, just a ridiculously broken card. This card was broken, and when you know a card gets nerfed twice, it's got to be on the list. It's got to be on the list at number 2, but it's not number 1. And before we get to number one, let's just list off a bunch of honorable mentions that you might feel should be on the list. And I'm sure there are some I am missing as well. So again, feel free to fill me in the comments, but we'll go with Flick, Skyshiv, Varanus, Lurker Below, Grumble, Kronks, High Spear Togwoggle, Savannah Highmane, Cabal Shadow Priest, Sylvanas Windrunner, Aya Blackpaw, Boulder Fist Ogre. How is that not number one? Justicar Trueheart, and Spiteful Summoner. So, what is the number one most broken 6-drop of all time? Well, it's the only card you could drop on 6 and immediately win the game if you're facing aggro. And that's Reno Jackson, the 6-mana 4/6 neutral legendary. If your deck contains no duplicate, restore your hero to full health, and well, that's just a game-winning, unbelievably game-breaking thing, which, well, is a super fun, popular archetype that tons of people love. Tons of people hate it too. It's not exactly fun. You're playing aggro like, well, they have Reno, I lose. They don't have Reno, I win. And well, they had a Reno, but this card has remained meta until, well, the latest expansion. Again, come on, Blizzard, let Reno be playable. But other than that, Reno has been a meta player in Wild, Standard, its entire existence. One of the most impactful 6-drops ever because, well, healing is usually pretty scarce in Hearthstone. And when you have a card that can heal you to full, it's definitely worth running only singleton cards. And hell, you can run it in a high cycle deck. We saw that in like, the Hemet, like Mechathune Warlocks, where you blow up your deck and then your Reno is active or whatever. It's just insane good card. Kael'thas might feel more game breaking, but I feel like Reno throughout its history has broken more hearts on ladder or brought more joy on ladder if you're the player than pretty much any of these cards. And I gotta put Reno at number one. So let me know in the comments below what you agree with, disagree with, what did I forget, and tune in, pretty soon. We'll take a look at the most broken 7-drops of all time. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.